This is my simplified version of Eruption by Eddie Van Halen. I simplify it by just teaching the end, where the tapping section is, and that's probably the part you came to learn because it's the most familiar and iconic part of the song. And I also simplify it by taking out a lot of the detail, so it sounds more or less the same as the tune, but there are a few fine details you might notice that I removed. So if this is your first time trying the tapping technique and you're new to learning the song, try this video first before you go ahead and learn the real deal. But listen to it and you'll see it sounds pretty close to the original, so here's my version. Alright, there we go. So that's my version of Eruption. It's pretty close to the original, just minus a few details you may have heard. But let's get right into how to do it. So if you've never done tapping before, what I would start with doing is taking your picking hand thumb, so whether that's your left or your right hand, take your picking hand thumb, and of course you won't be using a pick. We're going to put that thumb on the neck around fret 10, and using my palm and a bit of my forearm, I'll just be covering up the adjacent strings so that only my B string can ring, because I don't really want these other ones to be ringing while I'm hitting the guitar. And we're only using the B string, so I'm just trying to mute the nearby strings. Don't grab the guitar neck like this because it's going to restrict your movement. Just leave your fingers free. We're going to be using your index finger to do the tapping. Before we do a tap though, let's just grab on the same string, on the B string, let's grab fret number 2 with your index finger. And we're going to use your index finger in your right hand or your picking hand to tap the 9th fret. You want to hit it, doesn't have to be super hard, but firm enough to make a note, and you want to keep the pressure down so you don't lose the note right after. Right? Keep that pressure down, and then do a pull off. Make sure you don't just lift your finger off to make a sound. Like, you should actually pluck the string with your right hand so you can get a nice strong hammer on and pull off here onto that 2nd fret. So just practice that first, that's a lot of it. Once you got that down, what you want to do is take your 4th finger and you want to hammer on to fret 5 on the same string, the B string, after you did that tap and pull off. So I tap 9, pull off to 2, and hammer on with my pinky to fret 5. Throughout that whole thing, the 2nd fret, the index finger did nothing. It just stayed pressed down. And it sounds like this when I can do it continuously. 9, pull off to 2, 5. What you do is you'll notice when I do the tap, my pinky comes up because I tap, 2, 5. Tap, 2, 5. So get the coordination for that working at a slow pace. Don't try to go full speed for a while, just keep it nice and slow and even. And once you get that pattern, you can play everything I'm about to teach you. So if you want to take a day to work on that, you should, then just come back tomorrow and try some more of it. Let's get into the positioning of each and every part of the song. So that's position 1, so I start there and I do that 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm always just counting when my index finger taps. I leave my left hand where it was at 2 and 5, and I move up to 10 with my right hand. Do it 8 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I keep my right hand at 10, my left hand moves up to 4 and 7, and I do it again. So 10, 4, 7, 8 times. Move my right hand to 12, my left hand to 5 and 9. It's a bit of a reach here, but again, 8 times. So that was 9, 2, 5, nice and even, 10, 2, 5, 10, 4, 7, 12, 5, 9. This next part's weird. So we keep ascending in both hands, but this time my right hand goes up to 13, my left hand stays at 5, and my pinky pulls back from 9 to 8. So that's a bit of a weird one because we haven't really done that movement yet. So 13, 5, 8. Again, 8 times. The last part's fun. It's easy to remember this. So I move up 2 frets with my right hand. I find 15. 2 frets with my left hand. I find 7 and 10. 8 times again. And I repeat that process. 2 up with my right hand, which brings me to 17. 2 up with my left hand, bringing me to 9 and 12. 8 times. And that's the first leg of the journey. I go all the way from 2, all the way up to 9 and 12. So that was 9 to 5, 10 to 5, 10 4 7, 12 5 9, 13 5 8, 15 7 10, and then 17 9 12. That's it. Now we start the descent and you're on your way. So we're almost done the tune. That's halfway. So my right hand now stays at 17. My left hand is going to come up to 12 and 15. And this pattern is really easy to remember as well. I'm just going to do that twice. I'm going to go 17, 12, 15 twice. So the string tension is a little bit higher now because your fingers are a lot closer. So it gets a little bit tougher now. Move my left hand back 1 fret to 11 and 14. Do it again. Move back to 10 and 13, 9, 12. So that was, I do this twice. I just go. Right hand's not moving again. And this is how I remember the change. So my right hand goes down 2 frets now to 15. Left hand goes up 1 fret to 10. And I repeat, I do the same thing. Now in the song, that only happens once, and you move on to the next one, but I do it twice to keep it simple. Just like that. And then I repeat that process. Right hand goes down 2, I find 13, and left hand goes up 1 fret, I find 8 and 11. And I do it twice again. Once again, in the song, this part only happens once, but I like to do it twice just to keep it simple. Also, makes it a little bit longer because it's pretty short. Anyway. I find myself now at 13, 5, 8 if you did it right. So it looks like this. I started at 17, 12, 15. Repeat. I'm gonna go down 2, right hand, up 1, left hand. Repeat the process. Down 2 on your right hand and up 1 on your left hand. Hard to talk and play. And I find myself at 13, 5, 8. And what I do now is I simply move my right hand back to 12, my left hand back to 4 and 7. I'm going to do this 8 times. I'm going to keep my right hand where it is and move my left hand up to 5, 8. 8 times as usual. Keep my right hand where it is on 12 and move this back to 4, 7 where it came from 8 times. And then I finish off by, I'm going to do this 8 times. I'm going to go 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. So I'm just going to go back and forth. This is hard. Right hand still at 12. I do this 8 times. And then, after 8 times, you should find yourself on 12, 4, 7. But just before you finish, you're going to do 12, 5. That's it, 12, 5, and then play a good old E power chord. And then you're done. All right, so when I put it all together, it goes like this. At the end, I'm going... And I move again. And when I'm done, 12, 4, 7, 8 times. Back to 5, 8, 12, 8 times, 4, 7 again, and then I'm going to go 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. And then my E power chord. And that's it. That's how I play Eruption, plain and simple. If that's a real thing. Plain and simple Eruption. I'll see you next week for some more rock guitar.